And I'm here with Elizabeth, and we are in Port Augusta on my trips around Australia. And Elizabeth is a nun, but more interestingly, she is also a circus performer. I should zoom in here now. No, I'm not. Now, Elizabeth, can you firstly explain a little bit about how we first met? Because it certainly wasn't anything to do with the church.
No, I was living in Melbourne at the time and doing a Bachelor of Circus Arts through the National Institute of Circus Arts. And I had to do an assignment on a professional circus performer or something related to that. I think I took that in a very, very broad sense and thought I would interview a world peace clown, which I thought was an amazing thing to be. So I interviewed you, Susan, and we've kept in contact, and it's been great to know you through these different times of my life.
So you had to interview a professional. It's interesting that you found me. Never been paid. No, I'm joking. Now, if you could perhaps talk a little bit about what inspired you to join the Sisters of Mercy and become a nun, because looking at you, most people would not think of you as a nun.
I guess it started when I was quite young. My family was quite religious. We were from a Protestant church, so we weren't Catholics, but we went to a Catholic school, and when I was quite young I became a Catholic. And I think in the same year thought that the best way I could give back in life, the best way I could live life, was to become a priest, or my backup option was to be a minister in the church, because women can't be ordained in the Catholic Church. And I think that stayed with me for quite a long time. When I was in primary school, when I was in high school, I was going to become a sister, or I would tell people I was going to do theology and then become a nun or something. And people actually took that quite well. I was very surprised. I was embarrassed about it, but people were great. And then when I finished school, I questioned everything, and questioned my belief system, my faith, my church, and explored all kinds of different things. Ended up doing the circus degree, which I loved, and it was fantastic.
What sort of things in the circus degree did you do?
Well, my two specialties, because we did two major streams, and I did handstands and tight wire, so both things about balance, interestingly enough. And I also loved particularly acrobatics, like doing pyramids and partner or group balances.
Did you see that film about the tightrope walker? Did you see that?
No.
He was a guy that strung a rope between the Twin Towers. Yes.
Yes, I did see a documentary on him on TV. Yes. He was the most amazing, very artistic mind.
And extremely courageous, because I think when you're up on the high wire like that, so you used to get up fairly high. Did they have a nice safety net?
No, we actually used quite low wires, because we aimed to do more difficult tricks on a low wire rather than very basic things up on a high wire, which would take a long time to practice. So we practiced on a low wire, and it wasn't so dangerous, though I did once land with a wire flat on my stomach and had, I guess, internal bruising for a few weeks. But apart from that, I was quite lucky.
Now, I'm just going to move us towards the inspiration in your life, which I know is your mother. And maybe if you could talk a little bit about your parents and how they've inspired you on your journey.
I have fantastic parents. I've been very, very blessed in life. Both of them married late, so I think we're quite mature when they had us children. They'd both been the first ones in their families to study at university. They'd both travelled overseas to many different countries, become quite independent financially. My mum in particular has always wanted to take risks in life, and she always taught us to do that. Not silly risks, but not needing to go with the flow, but choose the kind of life that we wanted to live and contribute to society. So she was a very community-minded person, and always doing something new and exciting